Hi everyone, Pastor Steve here from Plumpton Community Church. We're continuing on with our topic about the Christian worldview versus secular humanism, and how secular humanism has began to dominate the Western world and has influenced the way that most people think in the West over the last several decades. As I said the other day, you may not feel like it's affected you at all, but I'm going to try and bring it out a little bit today, some of the areas where it has affected us, or whether we go to church or believe in God or not. First of all, though, I'd like to read out a scripture again. We started off last week last video, talking from Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 5. It says, "Cursed is the man who trusts in man and makes flesh his strength, whose heart departs from the Lord." And there's another verse in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4. It says, "He will oppose and will exalt himself over everything that is called God or is worshipped, so that he sets himself up in God's temple, proclaiming himself to be God." And that's found in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4. All right, so going along with those scriptures, we see that in our culture today, there is a prevailing worldview called secular humanism. Now, you may not be familiar with the term, but I'm sure that you are familiar with the term political correctness. And by and large, political correctness and secular humanism are one of the same thing. They are working towards the same sort of agenda in our culture, and there's been this shift away from God to a man-centered belief system, and it's affected our politics, it's affected the education system, our schools, places where this is taught by default now. Christianity has been removed from the classroom, from the school. Once upon a time in Western nations, the Bible and prayer and the Ten Commandments were part of the school system, even in public schools. I can remember as a child in England, when I was there to about the age of 10, that even though it wasn't a Christian school, that we still had some semblance of Christianity within that system there. But now that has been completely removed from the schools, and in its place another worldview has taken over. Our science is affected by this secular humanism. As I said, education, most of the discussions that you have about certain topics have been formed, the views that they hold, that you see on the TV, on the media, on the programs that you watch, have been influenced by this secular humanism or political correctness. And basically, secular humanism is where we have departed from the Lord. And that's what Jeremiah was trying to warn us about here. We are now putting our trust in man and his ideas, his beliefs about origins, his beliefs about what's right and wrong, instead of in our God and in the Bible. There has been a gradual shift. And now, as Isaiah actually said in the book of Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20, things that used to be evil are now being made as if they're good, and things that used to be good are now being made as if they're evil. For instance, if you make the statement that marriage is between a man and a woman only, that's considered to be intolerant or bigoted now, whereas up until only a few years back, that was the norm. Everybody believed that marriage was between a man and a woman. And for Christians, of course, it's because in the beginning God created the world and he made a man and a woman. And Jesus referred back to, at the beginning of creation, God made them male and female. And so this and many other topics, if you're talking about abortion, you will find the abortion issue has been influenced by secular humanism. God says, you shall not murder, you shall not kill. And yet secular humanism will say that it's a human right or a woman's right to terminate a child before birth, right to the point now where a child can be terminated up until the time of birth with recent legislation that's come in New South Wales. So we see that there is this shift away from Christian values and beliefs, and the whole of our community, a nation, is being affected by this, and it's creeping into the church as well. So I hope that you get something out of today's talk. I'm going to continue on with this subject for some time yet. God bless, and have a great day.